probably just a calm down. It's probably just a bad dream. Wishing that I wake up when I hit the ground. Yeah, I'm wrong, then I'm right, then I'm caught in the middle. I'm alone for the ride. Close my eyes, keep it simple. Never mind, never mind. I think I'm going about this the wrong way. Oh, oh, oh. Now I feel like loose change out your pocket on a Monday. I think I spent myself the wrong way every day. Feeling like I'm loose change, but I can't change.
Hey guys, it's Amy. Hope you're doing well. So today's video topic is going to be about how to be more confident and to love yourself, which is something that I struggle with a lot. I'm sorry if my intro had sad vibes. I always want my channel to be uplifting and to have positive, happy content, but I also kind of wanted to be a little bit more realistic. You know, not every day is a happy day. We're not always in a good mood. So I just thought that I would share that in a positive way that's like, here's how we can overcome it. There has been a lot of talks about like self-care and self-love and why all of that is important, which it is. And I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand with confidence too. I'm just gonna talk about like a bunch of random points. Hopefully it makes sense. If it doesn't, feel free to call me out. Something that I kind of mentioned in my intro was feeling uncomfortable with yourself, or I guess feeling uncomfortable with where you are, maybe in your own skin. I started to view that in a different light. So being uncomfortable is actually a good thing, because by pushing through the uncomfortable is how you grow, until you actually kind of go through it and go through those uncomfortable emotions, and that is really ultimately where you learn. And I'm thankful that I am not comfortable actually, because if I am, then that just means I'm like stuck in one place, which I don't want to be. Adventure and traveling. Back then I used to travel a lot, and I loved that because that just made me feel like I could escape. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. For anyone who feels similarly, or if you've traveled a lot in the past. With COVID and everything, like all of that kind of had to be paused. I don't want to complain about it or anything. It definitely changed my mindset. It definitely made me feel like I need to get new hobbies. You know, I need to kind of try new things. All of that is really great stuff. It also made people a lot more creative. You are forcing yourself to try new things, which I think helps with confidence. I've been feeling like I've tried to be more confident out there, which I never was in my life. Like, to people who know me, I think I was always a very introverted, I mean, I still am introverted, that didn't change, kind of person who didn't always speak up or I guess put myself out there. And so that changed a lot for me, and I feel a little bit more confident too. So anyways, I just wanted to share that. I hope all of that made some sense. So the next thing you have to do on your beautiful self-love journey is to overcome your self-doubt. Okay, now I feel like I'm just starting to rant to the camera, but I will rant if I have to. I think this is so important. Like I kind of showed before, self-doubt is always calling me. More literally, it just always kind of creeps up in my mind, and it doesn't leave me alone, and it just haunts me with literally everything that I try to do, or every new thing. I think that actively trying to fight against these things, you know, over time is really helpful. I never like sat down and thought like, oh, self-doubt, you know, what does that mean to me? Why am I always doing it? I never journaled or thought about it until yesterday. So in actually doing that activity, I feel like it just kind of helps me be more aware of it. Hopefully that can help you be more aware of it too. Like the next time self-doubt calls or it creeps up in your mind, hang up. You know, like, why do you need that? Why do you have to doubt yourself? Just do it. Like Nike. What am I saying? Yeah, and the biggest way I think to do it is to just face your fears, whatever the fears may be. For me, the biggest fear, at least that I can think of right now, is failing and just letting people down. Just identify what your fears are and then face them. Face it head on, overcome your self-doubt. Okay, so I was just thinking a little bit, and then I thought, what's another way to overcome self-doubt? I think a really big one is to stop comparing to people. Stop comparing to people. Stop comparing to people. I'm just gonna say it a million times. For those of you who have watched my other video on how to be happy alone, I'll link it below. I already talked about that, so I didn't want to be too repetitive and like make a video that's exactly the same as my other video. I think it's just so important that I'm going to reiterate it again. Stop comparing to other people. Before I start ranting, you know, one thing that you can do instead of comparing to other people, especially on social media, is to just count your blessings. You know, be grateful for what you have. Don't worry about the other person next to you. I'm saying this as a reminder to myself too. So you really have to pause, take a moment, look around you. And I also mentioned this in my How to Be Happy Alone video, but pause and take that moment to realize, you know, wow, I'm alive and I'm grateful for it. I mean, that sounds really cheesy and weird. You don't have to do that, but you are here in the moment, you're alive, appreciate it. I think that it's also extremely important to have positive self-talk. For example, I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like, right? And I'm sure, again, you probably know more about it than I do. I'm just gonna think of a random thing that I probably always say to myself. Oh, I can't do anything right, you know, I'm a failure, I suck. These are thoughts that are like always flying around in my mind. But positive self-talk, not saying I can't do anything right, but instead flipping that and saying, I'll get it next time, because you know what? You will. Or if you don't get it that time, you'll get it the next time. Stop with the negative self-talk. Change and reframe the way that you think these thoughts. Just do what you can to not like automatically say it in that negative way to yourself. Self-love. It's, you know, it's you. So actually, I did want to talk a little bit about the hate or the dislikes or whatever it is I have been getting on YouTube. Something that really crushed my confidence. Confidence is definitely something that you have to build, right, over time. It can also be torn down very quickly by a variety of things. There are some things in life, or even other people in life who you may never meet in real life, who can easily tear down your confidence and try to bring you down. I think that the most important thing is to not let them bring your confidence down, which it did for me. And I'm still working on it. I'm still working to ignore it. But I think that that's such, you know, a relevant example, because it's just proof that like something you have to work so hard, ironically, to build, it can be torn down very quickly. You know, be mindful of that. So you have to have your guard up and just protect it, protect your confidence. And taking it back to you may not be like anything related to YouTube. Life itself, right? It's hard. It will bring you down. And so again, you just have to kind of push through it and not let that impact the confidence that you are working on building. So I wish you good luck on that. You got this. Thumb looks so weird. Be aware that perfection does not exist. And I feel like everything I'm saying is a very like duh kind of thing. Like, you know it, but I'm just gonna remind you anyways. Nobody is perfect. I don't even know what perfect is, honestly. And that's just something you have to be okay with. Be aware of all your feelings, happy or sad, which is why I kind of wanted to make this video, because it's not like super 100% happy, but I'm trying to turn it into a positive thing. Be aware of your bad days. Be aware of all your bad and negative feelings too. Don't ignore it. Know that perfection doesn't exist, and take responsibility for your feelings. You have to face your negative thoughts, and once you're aware of it and once you face it, then you know you can overcome it. Does that make sense? Is anything I'm saying making any sense? When someone says self-love to you, I don't know what pops into your head right away, but for me, what pops into my head is a lot of things about like body confidence. I did want to talk a little bit about that. Again, I'm not a professional. I don't really know much about this, and these are all things I'm literally struggling with as I'm talking about. I'm just hoping that it's helpful to others. One reason why self-love may be so difficult, or at least even being confident in your own body, we may sometimes associate happiness with a certain body type. And what I mean by that is, if you kind of think to yourself, oh, when I look like a certain way, then I'll be happy. You're affiliating happiness with that image. I mean, I'm not here to say that's right or wrong, but I think that that can definitely have an impact on your confidence. Self-love really is a journey, right? Like, you kind of have to love yourself like at all stages. Even if you're reaching a certain goal, you can't be like, oh, when I reach that goal, then I will be happy, then I will like myself better. No, you have to love yourself at all of the stages. And I'm not here to say you shouldn't have health goals or lifestyle goals or any goals. Like, obviously we should all have goals, but don't associate the happiness to your ultimate end goal. You gotta be confident through the whole thing, the whole way. A minimalist lifestyle, being very minimalist, has a lot of benefits, and I'm just gonna quickly explain why. The act of decluttering, what exactly that means to you is up to you, but for me, keep everything very clean and very organized. If you organize and you have like a little bit of everything that you need and just what you need, that makes me feel better, which makes me just love life more. I don't know. Clutter everywhere, that can have an impact, I think, on the way you see things too. And this is so important, okay? For anyone who's around my age, you're kind of working full-time, you're kind of doing your job besides graduate school or, you know, other professional studies. We're not always learning, you know? Kind of like thought about it more, and I'm like, if I don't use my brain, like, what am I doing, right? I'm trying to learn new things, and whether or not I'm good at it or whether or not I'm going to be able to reach the end goal. I'm gonna get too into that, but just actually trying and like getting out of your comfort zone, learning new skills, it's so important. And the reason why I say that is because what it does is it challenges yourself. And when you challenge yourself, you learn more about what you are capable of doing. You learn more about yourself. This can go for anything. You don't have to like necessarily, sign up for anything just to learn. You can learn a new like life skill. Like that obviously counts. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you watched till the end. I love and appreciate you. Sending you so much love. I hope that this video made sense and that it's able to be helpful, because that's really all I want, is that it's number one, to make sense, and two, that it's helpful. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, so you can help my channel and my weird unrealistic YouTube dreams. So I will see you guys in my next video. Also, if you have any video ideas, feel free to drop them below as well if you want. And he says goodbye.
Oh, now I feel like